I'll just talk through a little bit about my role within the club, and then Paul Nicholson, who has joined us. Paul is more. I'm more on the event side. So I'm our vice president of events with Kingshammer SBD Event Management. And then Paul is our executive director for Kingshammer, and he deals more with our soccer programming. So Facundo, as you talked about your player pathway from U6 to U21, essentially ours is pretty similar. And Paul can kind of go over that in just a minute and kind of give you an idea of how we're structured as well from the club side. From the event side, we recently partnered with another event management group last March, and we now host around 40 soccer tournaments a year within Kingshammer SBD events. So those events range from what we would consider youth events at U8 to U14. And then we also have college showcase events where we bring in college coaches from different regions of the country for essentially U14s to U19s. So the older age players. And so coming up in probably 2 weeks, we start what we call our showcase series, our college showcase series for our older players. So a lot of our older players in the club, this is their first week back to training after their high school seasons. So they're just starting to come back. And then we start our showcase series with our Gateway Showcase, which Maybelle and Fabian were trying to get a group together to come to that in November.
Right.
We have a boys and girls weekend in November for that. We have our Indianapolis College Showcase, which is similar. So these are all U14 to U19s. Indianapolis College Showcase in late November, early December. And then we have our Champions College Showcase in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, the second full weekend of December. So those kind of kick off our college showcase events. And then we have a couple more in February in Indianapolis called our Circle City Showcase. And then our big college showcase event kicks off for 2 weekends in April, and that's called our Nike Blue Chip College Showcase. I think that's the one right now that Maybelle has talked about,
Right.
trying to get some groups over to that event.
Yes.
That event in the spring, on the women's weekend, we traditionally have about 320 teams from across the country and Canada. We usually have about 150 or so college coaches that attend. And then on the boys weekend, last year we had 430 teams from across the country and Canada. And then we had between 150 to 175 college coaches that weekend as well. And so basically the idea for those events is teams will come in, they'll play one game per day traditionally. They'll play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then they just play in front of college and give those colleges and universities a chance to go and scout players. Occasionally, we will also have like FC Cincinnati will come in for a day with their youth academy coaches. Columbus Crew will usually come in for a day, and they'll watch specific teams and levels and age groups. But then some of those players might get selected to go join those teams as well.